then there we go. So now, yeah, there's lots of people from all over the world. Okay, so you're all just at okay, darling. Hi everyone. There's music on, so we can't talk too much. So this is my friend Natea, who performed yesterday and is performing tomorrow. And we're from the same province. You're about 2 hours from where I live, I guess. Is this a secret? Yeah. Hey, Skyler. See? Here's Skyler, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, bienvenue au festival. I'll go outside in a minute, but I want you to hear a bit of the music. And here, see some more. See? Some of our friends. Hey. How cool is that? Hey. There you go. See, so everyone's saying hi from around the world. So we're all Treaty 7 people, but we're on Treaty 1. Salut, Cathy, bonjour. Let me show you. We're in one of the warming tents. It's really snowy outside right now. But now, press that button right there.
Thank you very much.
There you go. See? And there's the. So we're listening to some good French-Canadian music. This is Festival de Voyageur. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to play a nice...
Let you listen to a little bit of music, and then we'll go outside and tell you everything, okay? So we'll give you a chance out there. See, there's 100 people on right now watching this. So I did put a link, everyone, on the camper van group to the play that we watched last night, and we're going to watch it again tomorrow at the Human Rights Museum. Oh, Mom, are you here? Hi, Mom. Hey, Chloe. She laughing at buddy there. That's kind of... So, hey, Fraser, you know exactly where I am, and it's cold. What do you think? It's about minus 20, I think. Yeah, I think we're a little bit cold, but we're bundled up. That's my mom right there. You have cold clothes? Yeah, but we'll see you outside, you guys. Yeah. You want to give everyone a wave? We'll see their performance tomorrow. So I feel like that. Hey, bonjour, Hélène. On est toutes francophones ici, métis. And actually, gentlemen, I know it's hard to hear me, but I wanted you to hear the music, everyone. Look at this dad dancing with this little girl. I want to show everyone this badge here. This goes back. I can't really see it. That is actually the monument to the 1763 treaty between the Crown and the First Nations. And that is why it should be two sovereign nations. That's why it matters. And I can tell you more. Hi, everyone. So, I think, now, do you want to come up for a walk? Sure, we'll go for a walk, and then we'll come back because the battery doesn't last too long at minus 20 on the phone. So, all right. On y va se promener un peu. Go for a little walk. All right, get to it. Come on out. All right, ladies. We're going to go over to Fort Gibraltar here, Skyler. Did you go over there yet? You can say hi. Come with me. Come with me. Come outside. We'll say hi. Come on out. Yeah. All right. Ha, ha, ha. Here is winter, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now a chance to properly say hello, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Suyata Redding-Rabbit, and I'm from Siksika Nation in Alberta.
Can you say that? Because they say Oki all the time on my tours anyway. Say that one more time.
Oki.
See, so these are my friends from Siksika Nation in Alberta. We're out here performing. For those of you who haven't met me before, my name's Patrick Toomey, of course. Franco-Albertin, so celebrating French Western Canadian history here. And I'm hanging out with these performers who did a play last night. And then tomorrow I'll be able to give you a view of the Human Rights Museum. Unlike the blue sky yesterday, it is snowy today. So let's go over and we'll go see Fort Gibraltar. You're welcome to come along if you want, everyone.
I'm going to look at the back at the Arctic Capsule.
Okay, good. Hey, how's it going, bud? Hey, come here for a sec, Deanne. Deanne, you got to come over here for a quick second. Everyone, this is my friend Deanne, who actually put together the whole play. Well, two of you put it together. And yeah,
the kids.
And the kids, of course. And so some of the kids have been saying, there you are. Hey, everyone.
That's Jenna.
And there's Jenna. See, I tried to call you 3 times. So we have people from all over the world, and it's not snowing too much. And so we've said hi, and we've said hi in Blackfoot, and now we say bonjour, parce que festival. Bonjour, okay. There we are. Let's go. I'm going to go show them Fort Gibraltar because it's kind of, yeah. So now you've heard me tell Shalom, Ruth. I have friends from Israel on board here. But of course, we talked about the fact that there were two main companies for the fur trade out here. One of them, of course, the Hudson's Bay Company. Your granddaughter is with you. It's her birthday on Thursday. Oh, well, we'll have to do a song on Thursday. I promise. Say hi. Diane, big hugs to your granddaughter. Let's come up here and see Fort Gibraltar here. Now, this was the Northwest Company. Very, very important. This was the competitive company that came out of Montreal. This is why you have les Voyageurs themselves out here. So, en 1810, le Fort Gibraltar est bâti. Right, now I'm going to give you a twist here so you can get a good photo. They take postcards for this. So let me just give you a twist here, and you can bring this in. So they had a labor force between 2,000 and 2,500 people. The Voyageurs came out here. Of course, they were mostly men. When they came out here, well, they met women, and they had babies. And then, of course, they had to go back to Montreal to get paid. Hi, Harriet. Lovely to have you here. And that was the birth of course, the Métis Nation out here, and, of course, this Voyageur culture. This lady, Harriet, is a friend of mine, and she's a guide in Uganda. They don't get a lot of snow in Uganda. Hey, Harriet, I have friends here who are from Treaty 7 in Alberta, up the road from where I live. We're on Treaty 1 territory as a land acknowledgement here, the Anishinaabe people. So let's go take a look. This is what a fur trading fort would have looked like. 1810, of course, this gets established. 1812, the War of 1812, the Americans. Oh, look at this. That's a good point. There, by the way, is a snowy owl. And the Americans tried to invade what was the upper and lower Canada, and that cut them off out here. Isn't that a gorgeous bird there, everyone? It's legit. And you'll notice that most people, great horned owl, thanks. Most people around their waist, of course, yeah, she's just telling us, are wearing the sashes or les ceintures fléchées. So, of course, on, I think it's Thursday, I'm going to take you out to see polar bears. Isn't that a gorgeous animal? The big owls through. They actually had a tame raven in one of the tents, but it's a little too noisy to try and show you. So, I know we don't have too long. I'm keeping an eye on the battery because it could die. I want to show you a snow sculpture. See, everyone's walking around right now eating la tire. The tire is the toffee on ice. Have you guys had one yet? Yeah. So we always do the French-Canadian things, and that's where they pour the maple syrup out. So let's come on into Fort Gibraltar here. I'll show you around, everyone. And it's... Sorry, you can't touch it, excuse me. I just have a look. Hi, Jane. All right. Sorry, everyone. All right. Hello. Young man was very excited to see that. So, we talk about what a Voyageur canoe would look like. This is a Voyageur canoe. Look at that. Now, imagine paddling with all your belongings. Oh, hi, Kristen. Hugs to your mom. Bonjour. Fallait dire bonjour. Il y a pas mal du monde ici, partout au monde, qui vous dit bonjour. Hein? Ils font un petit chat. Bonjour. Festival des Voyageurs. Merci. So this is what they're... Let's see the fires around. Can you imagine, though, if you hadn't prepared for winter here, you weren't going to survive, right? And so really the transition from the fur trade, thanks, Fraser, to what was really the economy of the Métis people was pemmican. Now, what is pemmican? It is beef jerky, but bison jerky. I love this stuff, too. I mean, we all grew up eating it. You would have grown up eating it. Yeah, of course you guys would have. But look at these. So some of the constructions were more permanent. We can take a little loop around. Let's take a little loop around inside the fort. But just thanks, Michelle. Imagine how isolated life would have been out here, though. All right, so the people, of course, historically, who had been here for literally thousands of years, traveled by water, and then they would have hunkered down, and they used teepees out here. Thanks, Lorraine. A logical thing. Now, it's dead flat out here. The Red River is draining up into Lake Manitoba, and everything south is going down, of course, into the Mississippi system. Yes, absolutely. L'entrepôt, there's too many people. I don't want to put the camera right in the face of children, but some of these early houses, yeah, we can go a little peek in this one. But yeah, the War of 1812 was, of course, Nicole, there's the University of Alberta has an Indigenous Studies course as well that is free. Yeah, I'll show you what it's like to come inside here for a second. So it's Here is an old trading house in here. So this is the Northwest Company, and then in 1821 the Hudson's Bay. Obviously, a lot of people around, folks. So I'm not trying to not give quite the same level of commentary I normally do. Ça va, c'est bon? Oui, délicieux. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est la sirop d'érable. Oui, c'est la tire. Très bien parlé en français. Oh, it's lovely. So the Indigenous course from the University of Alberta, lots of people on HAGO have actually taken it. It's a really good introduction. And yeah, look at this. It's quite warm in here, though. The fire is effective. Of course, you had lots of forest here.
The first thing I noticed
is the what, sorry?
lacrosse stick.
Oh, the lacrosse stick. That's right. Skylar's a serious lacrosse player, like scholarship level. That's a whole different thing. Hey, merci. Now up top, there's the old... Yeah, the Hudson's Bay Company coat, absolutely. But there's the Northwest Company flag. Is that right, Kristen? Glad to hear that about your mom. Now, they're not cooking now. They had the food out earlier over here. So they were cooking traditional... Thanks, Helen, for putting that up. So what you would leave Montreal with all sorts of split peas, the split pea soup. My mom knows all about that. Then they'd come out here and they would collect wild berries and wild rice. And the wild rice from Manitoba is delicious. Do you guys grow much rice? It's too dry, isn't it? Yeah. So it's, we buy it at home quite a lot now. And then here's some of the traders out there, of course, of the big old muskets. Pretty fantastic. Why don't we go up the stairs? Because I think I can get a nice view now, all the way up and over to the Human Rights Museum. So Winnipeg's not big. Like, it's all central Winnipeg's easy to walk. What are they doing? Oh, they're snowshoeing. Oh yeah, the old snowshoes. There you go. Oh, they've got loads of them actually all up here. Now, snowshoeing was pretty important out in this part of the world. And what you do when you're on water, if you weren't sure if it was frozen well enough, you put your legs wider apart and you move really quickly to balance. That was one of the great risks of it. But snowshoeing to me is a little slow. I'm more of a skier. But Dijon, let's go up the stairs and I'll have a view over the city. And we'll take you up. And I want to show you a map that we found earlier. So the Festival de Voyageur, we're over in Saint-Boniface, obviously the French part of Winnipeg. And I greet people first in French and then in English when I'm out here, which is pretty neat. But we're up over, there's one of the big trains going through in the distance. But this is really neat to see because there in the distance is downtown Winnipeg. So as opposed to that fabulous, where are you, sis? Ici, du côté de Saint-Boniface. But there, of course, is the whole city center. And we're just down by the mighty Red River. Of course, we're just a short walk, about 5 blocks away from the Forks where the Assiniboine comes in, and that's obviously why it was thanks, Marianne, why it was founded in here. Well, you say that every morning on the bus I've been trying to pronounce good morning properly in Blackfoot, so we say Oki. Say it again. Idam Ixconotani. So that's what we've been saying in the mornings. Hola, Miriam, bienvenidos. Un gusto tenerte acá. So it's so much fun. We do actually have one of the elders with us, was the Blackfoot teacher at the school, so it's pretty cool. Now out here, the signs are outside, so I don't think I'll be able to show you, but they actually have, it was fabulous, Fraser, and they even had a long talk back afterwards and a real conversation. But there were a lot of people from official Treaty 1 people here, and so it was lovely for them to welcome people from Treaty 7. I thought that was really meaningful. And there is the museum out there of human rights, the Asper Foundation, who's also financing or helping to fund this. They gifted some money to help bring our whole performance here. We are in Winnipeg, Canada, absolutely, Julie. We're right in the center of Canada here. Ça va, no? Merci. We're right in the middle of Canada. If you take southern Canada, it really is the middle. And the middle of all of Turtle Island is here in Manitoba, in the middle of what is called North America. Pretty spectacular. Look at the ice sculpture out there. I didn't even notice that. That is an ice climbing wall. Look at that. That's going to be for ice climbing in the distance there. Look at that. How cool is that? I think, yeah, there'll be ice climbing on it. Yep. We pour one of those in Banff every year, usually up by the youth hostel. So I want to take everybody up and show you how they would have navigated in the past. Manitoba, the heart of Canada, exactly. Well, Manitoba. So now, here's a little bit of good history for you guys too that you may or may not know. So this is what an early map would look like. It's not actually true to scale because you'll see up at the top is Fort Chippewa. That is the longest and permanently inhabited community in the province of Alberta. But York Factory is right up there on the Nelson River. And that was the headquarters of the Hudson's Bay Company. The Northwest Company came through here. Now, when the early fur traders came through, I had a friend who did a PhD on this in history. They would get maps from the indigenous people, and the Europeans would get lost every single time. The reason was it's a little bit like having Fahrenheit or Celsius. The Europeans used north, south, east, west. Now, if you're living in a place like up north, which is dark for 3 months, you don't use the same things. They used river crossings. So the indigenous map was based on where you crossed rivers. And so the European just couldn't read it that way. They'd get lost. But they know that the native people weren't getting lost because they always found their way back. Perpendicular river crossings and junctions. It's fascinating because there's no right or wrong in something like that. It's just how you do your world. And so I talk so often when I'm in Banff and we see the Bow River. So the Bow River comes down. It goes through Sissica, right? Yeah. Yep. So right through you guys got flooded too in 2015, didn't you? Yeah. So it flows through you. It meets up with the Old Man River, the Red Deer River, and then becomes the South Saskatchewan, which means swift current or fast-flowing river. That then meets up with the North Saskatchewan, comes all the way in here to Lake Winnipeg, and then drains out the Nelson River up there. That is that giant system that is the Canadian prairies. Bonjour. So I've got several people with me here today. We're a whole group. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Go ahead.
My name is Natea, Writer. I'm from Siksika Nation.
Siksika Nation and Skyler?
My name is Skyler Running Rabbit. I'm also from Siksika Nation, Jason.
And if you want to see how they spell running rabbit in their own language, how cool is that? See? This is Joanne from Ireland saying "okie" to you. So yeah, we've got just such a connection. And so this journey for me is as much learning as guiding, but and we're having a blast, but I kind of like the sun to come back out, although it was fun that it was snowy this morning. So why don't we keep heading around? So this Festival du Voyageur, obviously it was canceled for a couple of years because of the pandemic, but this is a real celebration of the French-speaking experience in the west of this country. Hey, Santosh, namaste. This fellow Santosh is a guy in Nepal. This is how connected we are all around the world. There is a gentleman with us who is a drummer, and he's going to do a tour with me one day in Calgary. So that's a pretty cool thing. Sorry, I'm just going to make it down the stairs. What does he have in Alberta? Sorry. An Atlanta Braves hat? I don't know. Didn't ask. I don't think I will ask. Thanks, Mary Beth. Lovely to have you here. But okay, so you come out west. Is that right? Your son's wedding will be here? Hey, tout le monde. That is so much fun. The French here is very different. Nicole, very. I don't know if you've seen many forts, but they're very typically this. So you've got the big central building, a few support ones, but the whole thing would be maybe a hectare. Not a big area, but yeah. So there's really two types of French spoken out here. So the French Manitoban, which is pretty similar to the French Albertan that we'd speak, but it is a different accent than in Quebec, but it's very, very old French. And then there's Michif or Métis French. So Michif was a fusion of French, Ojibwe, Cree, and English. And so they have two words for hello, for example. A version of bienvenue. Nah. So that's why the French... Come on? C'est pas YouTube, mais c'est quelque chose en vie. It's on direct. So this is a little website called Heygo, and there's, look at that, 157 people from around the world.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, from all over the world saying hello. So say hi to them, say bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. That's our modern. Hey, Cindy. So, hi, Donna. So it is cold out here. Sorry, there's so many people around. I'm not seeing the screen as much as I normally do. No, Ruth, the Métis would not be understood in French, not if it were Michif. But also the old Métis. I don't know if you all met one time. I've got a really good Métis buddy, Ray. I think he came on a tour once. I'm not sure. But I used to speak French with his dad. It's a bit like when you meet Haitians. They'll speak Creole and French. So, yeah, you get that sort of mix. But let's go take you around in the time we have. I'm not promising the battery is going to last that long because it's super cold out here. But let's take you around and get a sense. But imagine, so you paddle these canoes up the St. Lawrence, through Lake Erie, up into Huron, Michigan, up into Lake Superior, and then they would portage. So remember, the main street here, thanks, Donna, the main street here in Winnipeg is portage or portage, where you had to carry a canoe. You carry everything with you. And then the reason these forts were built is they paddle up 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers, and then winter came. And this is what winter looks like, everyone. Thanks, Margaret and Gary. And so winter comes, it all freezes up, and you have to build a fort. This is where you had to dry your food. Absolutely. You had to have your bannock, and you had to collect your wild rice, because if not, you were going to freeze to death. So that's the next part of our story. In old Fort Garry, you ready for these statistics? Of the settler languages, French was the most spoken language. The third most spoken language was English. What was the second? Again, settler, not indigenous languages. No, it's not. It was actually, thanks, Helen McCoy. It was Scottish Gaelic. Remember the clearances from the Highlands. The Scots came out here, and that was the Selkirk settlement. We have to show you some of these snow carvings because they're just too cool. And so when the Palliser expedition moved west to plot out the route that eventually became the trains right through your country, right through Saskatchewan, that got its money from Fort Garry here, 5,000 pounds. So, but Scottish Gaelic is still spoken, of course, in Cape Breton. There it is, Jim. So, but look, these are snails.
Is it snails?
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't it? Yeah, beaver tails is so much fun. Do you know why that snail bought a really fast car?
Why?
Because he wanted to see the escargot. That's my snail joke. Now, look at these. These look like... Are they sheep? Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, they look like sheep to me. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Do you want to see how it feels weight-wise? See, it's not too bad, eh? See how it stabilizes? Yeah. And so what everyone is, I do love laughing at my own jokes. Yeah. And they're taking postcards through this. So this is why I share on Facebook, like images from the play and everything. So actually, would you two mind giving a little talk about what your play is about? Would you be happy to? And part of the reason, so we're here and we're just having a fun day at Festival. Yeah. But the real reason we're all here is... So
we're here for the show called New Blood. It's a play. It tells the story of a chief on Siksika Nation, Vincent Yellowwoman. It talks about his story of residential school, his battle through alcoholism, and just reconnecting and finding himself and his culture. And it's just his story, and it's a step towards reconciliation, because it's a show that we are able to show everyone, including non-Indigenous people and people from wherever they come from. So being able to show that is just a step and opens people's eyes, opens their hearts, and allows them to see a story they might not have known had happened the same time that they were growing up.
And, I talk about this all the time, but I'm obviously a little bit older than you guys. I had finished my undergraduate at the University of Calgary before the last residential school closed. Yeah. Like, this is not ancient history, right? It was fascinating. We'll watch it again. And again, I'm not going to film it because of obviously copyright, but I'll put some pictures up and you can all connect through. But what they've done, of course, is, it's called True Blood? No.
New Blood.
New Blood.
New Blood.
New Blood. And again, we did put a link up yesterday, but they're fusing. I mean, it's probably 2/3 of the actors will be Blackfoot, I guess, and the rest are kids. Like, yeah, almost half. Yeah. So it's not just, and I think what I thought about it is that it was more positive towards the end than I had expected. And that's nice, right? Yeah, Deborah, the thing that's charted out inside here, because there's actually a whole treaty conversation inside. They were saying 1996, but yeah, some people say 98, but it's around that time. The last one closed in Saskatchewan. So let's go see. Should we see if there's any music in the other one? There was some great music playing in there earlier, and kind of music that I've known for years. So as soon as they got the fiddle going, I had to start dancing. And there is La Cabane à Sucre. So the Cabane à Sucre is where you do la tire, of course. All right, you ready for my claim to fame?
Let's see it.
I once danced in front of 1 billion people. Yeah. For real. It was the opening ceremonies of the Calgary Olympics. I was super little. Well, this is their first time. If I correct, it's your first time doing the show outside of Alberta, right?
Mine, yes.
Yeah. So it's been going on for 9 years. Yeah. So it's just a fabulous success. Oh, here's a good. I got to show everybody this. Here. Are you? We got to get tickets. Well, Skylar here has been on hockey scholarships, lacrosse scholarships, and now this is axe throwing here. So it's we got to get tickets for it, unfortunately, but otherwise we'll come back and do it after. Oh, and I have to show them the monument to the Voyageur up here. Look at that with the canoe up in the hand. Miriam, hola. Un gusto tenerte acá. Hace un poquito más frío acá que en Oaxaca. Te aseguro. Aquí estamos con menos 20, I think, Linda. So, yeah, let's see if we give us another one. Gonna give us one more throw. You got people watching from all over the world here. all over the world. Adelante, Lash.
No pressure!
Okay, avec as well sound. Oh! Thanks, Viola. Here, for real. Look, see ya? People are chatting. They're waving at you.
Come on!
Yeah. There you are. Ça, c'est un festival, mon grand. Hey, merci. All right. So you can see why you want to come and spend a day here. Yeah, there's Woodstock. There you are. Some good music. By the way, that was punishment in the old days. If you committed a crime, you had to chop wood for the winter. And yeah, and the Northwest Mounted Police used to up in Dawson City, you'd have to like chop 2 cords or 3 cords, whatever your crime was. Now, lots of slides around fun. Just gonna come and have a little peek in here and see if some music's playing. These people are all lining up and playing for the La Tire. Isn't this fun, Ruth? Yeah, man. Oh, I do hear music. All right. And it's fun as well because we get to warm our hands up. It really is cold out here. So, and there you have the Breton language, of course. So, lots of snow around. Now, there's a lot more going on in the festival. And they even have a shuttle bus all around. So I'm going to leave with some of the actors there at about 1 as they're going to be setting up at the museum. And then we'll come back. Sorry, thanks, Casey. Well, this is here. Let's listen to a bit of music. Bonjour. About minus 20, Marcia. It's great. Thanks, Robert. That's so true, Rosemary. And these are all French-Canadian Voyageur sounds. Woohoo!
Let's see.
Voyageur does mean traveler. Definitely a Celtic influence. Remember, 80% of all French Canadians came from Normandy and Brittany.
The piano à Gérald, it's got a little bit of a mind of its own. At the end there, it was playing all kinds of strings. We have an orchestra going on back here.
Thomas say minus 15? We thought it was minus 20. It was this morning. Well, see if they start one more song. Otherwise...
Quand j'étais petit, when I was small,
Tu vois qu'on est tous bilingues ici. Hein?
my grandfather played on an old VHS tape, and it was called Fiddling Through the Years, and I used to ask all the time for it to be played. I didn't know how to play the fiddle yet, but I thought I did. So, je marchais autour, puis faisais semblant de jouer le violon. So we're going to play a tune right from that old VHS tape. I still have it. I think it still works. But this was one that was played by Graham Townsend. So a little bit of a medley. Here we go.
Okay. So this is not Family Day here. This is Louis Riel Day here. Oh. Voilà. je danse avec mes pieds, là. The other place is Cape Breton for the reels, the old Scottish reels. That was me as a dad with my little one. Voilà, Michel. But the Métis Nation are a truly indigenous culture to this land. I'll tell you outside, Cindy, because it's a great question. Thanks, Chloe. C'est sûr.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à
Good
vous.
old Big John McNeil. All right, je pense que c'est quasiment time for another one of these.
Quasiment. All right. So people were asking. People were asking about the sashes, but first I have to tell you my very best one-word joke. Okay, you ready? Hey. That's the best one-word joke there is. They're doing, horse-drawn carriages out here, but that was the last straw. So the sashes are your neighborhood or your community. But what the sash was is, of course, half the construction was done even without nails because metal was hard to get a hold of. But you would wear the sash around your waist, and it would really be your tool belt. You would have a little bag, a pouch, or a poke, as you'd call it in the old Scottish. But that's where you'd have your money, your food, which is a tried food, pemmican, and then anything else had to carry. So that's what the sash is all about. And then it became an identity thing. So that's really the purpose of that. I wonder what's going on out here. They have the horses out right now? Yeah? Oh, we have to go. I see. I don't mind paying to go on one, but we're not going to do it now. Maybe we'll just finish a loop and we'll end up back at the tent. I just have a few more minutes with them. So for the rest of the day, you guys are hanging. And then what we're going to do later on today is we're going to go have dinner over by the Forks again. And then maybe go skating. Skylar, I think we should get some skates, dude. We get you a hockey stick. Yeah. But longest skating rink in the world right now because the one in Ottawa never froze this year. So it never opened. Glad those kids have their backs to my photos. Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, I do ask that people don't publish photos of children's faces just because I don't have, I don't know them. Nobody seems to mind. But here is a great Canadian tradition out here. Look at that. There's a little bit of ball hockey out there. I think you should go school them, Skylar. I do want to show them slides. Oh, remember this? Did you guys used to do those as kids? This is a great way to wreck your knee. You get 4 people together and they have to run together with these things. But it's super. So these are all sleds down here. They're sliding down a little bit like the ones in Quebec City, but they built them down the bottom, down to the toboggans. Yeah, I bet you have, Robert. So it is kind of fun. And this is, tout le monde dit bonjour. What's your name?
These guys.
Yeah, we were just talking about these things are crazy. Yeah. So lots of outdoor activities and sports. Let's just keep making our way along here. So yeah, ball hockey is just too much fun. Hey, Tina. And then lots of other fun. There's a little baby axe throwing game over there. And then we got some snow soccer out here. Yeah, so lacrosse, well, we all grew up playing lacrosse, of course, but Skylar was playing, what was your in New York State, was it?
Yeah, that playing for a school down in New York State.
Which is pretty cool. So Finn used to play. Oh, there's CN Railway coming through, everyone. Once again, there's the wheels of commerce of this country. Yeah, so it's Louis Riel Day here. I'll make it a very, very short story, but the Métis Nation emerged as a culture out here on the prairies. They're moved around. There's several different sculptures. They're all through the area, Colleen. But yeah, so Louis Riel was often educated in Montreal, came back. Now, he's quite a character to sort of disassemble because there's sort of two arguments about him. I mean, he did believe that the Métis were a chosen people and he believed himself a second coming. On the other hand, he was the leader who advocated for Métis rights within this new Canada that had formed. And it was Canada as a country, it was its first military act where they brought together a militia. They came out here, it was called the Red River Rebellion, and they publicly hung him. And so that's why today, this is now not called Family Day here, but rather it's called Louis Riel Day. Here, we'll show you, there's some cool snow carvings over here, but tons of people coming in. Now, we've got great passes. I'll give you a sense of the whole thing here. But yeah, so it's only in Quebec that it's not a holiday here, because in the States, it's President's Day, I think, down there. And here you have some of the stories. So, well, they hung him, Joanne, because he tried to create his own country here, and it was a sovereignty thing of the Canadian government. Again, if you joined my tour yesterday, I talked all about the Winnipeg General Strike and the birth, thanks, Diane, and the birth of what really became, a much happier, more modern Canada that actually had some compassion for people. But historically, there was very little of it. So, there's more music over here. Oh, cool. Look at these. There's the boîte à chanson. So the song box. Yeah, exactly, Anna Marie. It's Saskatchewan, too. Yeah, I even think it's a holiday in BC out there. It's BC Day. Well, Joy, absolutely. I've done a few. Some people who are here today joined me for a Canadian history lecture last week in Michigan, which is fun. But isn't this music great? And then they've got the fireplaces out here where you warm up. Yeah, this is probably... Look at us warming up here, eh? So, hey, John. Nice to see you. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do just one Canadian history lecture because there's so many different stories. I will do... this wasn't I am seeing Hudson Bay symbols around, but this wasn't the Hudson's Bay. This was the Northwest Company. So, it's a different bit of history there. And then that same train is just rolling along the top and right down. So we're in St. Boniface, of course, and right down the main street. So, Joy, you probably haven't known me long enough. I've done two controversial Canada Day talks about the history of genocide in this country. But I'm absolutely happy. I'll do a Hudson's Bay or fur trade one day. We'll do a seated one, do a raw history. I'm going to be home on Friday and home for a good couple of weeks, so I'm happy to do that. That's all right, Joy. But yeah, lots of interesting. But this is deep, deep history. And I mean, I'm with teachers and graduated students and everything. And still, there's so much talk. But Winnipeg really is. It's 100 years more history than the other Western Canadian cities in terms of colonial history, and I think that's really important. Hey, Jeff, but great music. God, you just want to dance. So there we are. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting the warning on my phone. It's lovely too. Wasn't it fun, Ken? I'm getting the warning on. Yeah, Joy. I have written a couple of books about Canada, so I've done the history writing. But I'm getting the warning on my phone that I'm getting low battery. So it's just, I think if it's warmed up to minus 15, there's a bit of wind out here, so it's solidly minus 20. So hey, thanks, Tara. So Tara, hopefully we will catch up for the zoo. And anyone else in Winnipeg who wants to come, we'll go out and see polar bears. I still want to put up a tour tomorrow at the museum. I'm going to go test my reception today. So do keep your eyes out. Marianne, I did undergraduate in history, and then I did a degree of Latin American Studies, and then I did a degree in finance, believe it or not, master's. But this is all this is the history of this place. Thank you, everyone. It's so much fun to share this with all of you. So thanks, Vidish. Thanks for all your contribution and support. Miigwech, thanks, Nicole. So we'll say goodbye to my friends. Well, I'm going to say goodbye here to give them isn't that fun? So there's so much to learn here, and then we'll see if we can get to play traveling to other parts. We'll see if we can get you guys to Toronto. That'd be cool. So all right, ladies. So avec la boîte à chansons, I'll give you one more. Oh, my hands. Hey. Toda Tova. Have a look at this. But it's so much fun to share this with everyone. And now I'm going to go eat some poutine, I think. Hey, thanks, Marsha. Et avec la boîte à musique. I see. So I say, feel free to put pictures up of our friends, even tag them, their play. But I just don't like to put up photos of children and stuff because, for all the obvious reasons. But look at that lovely outfit there, Voyageur outfit. All right. You're welcome. It's a treat to share this with all of you, everyone. All the very best and lots of love. You're welcome, Ken. Big hugs. Do you see why I like Winnipeg for all you people who are doubters? All right. Hey, thanks, Molly. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. À très bientôt à tout le monde. Et bon festival de voyageurs.